I'm going to go over the parts of the microscope for both microscopes. The only difference between the two is the number of eyepieces. So this is a binocular, which means two, and you can adjust how far these are apart by just grabbing a hold of it and moving these like this. And the monocular is one eyepiece. The only other difference is that there is this block on top is a camera. So we can hook this up to a computer and take images, and then later we can draw on them. But for right now, I just want to go over the parts of the microscope. It is very important that you understand not only the terminology and the parts, but also how to properly use and take care of the microscopes, and then of course putting them away properly. So let's go ahead and start. I'm just going to use the binocular scope. First of all, the power is on the back of the scope, and when you turn that on, you should have a light source coming through. If you do not see a light, there's a couple things you can check. One, the knob here, it may have gotten turned completely off, so check that. The other thing that you would want to check, there is something called the diaphragm, and if you look under the scope, there's a little metal tab right here, and that will open like the iris of your eye. That will open and close the amount of light coming in. So let me move this so you can see. Try and close that down as such. And sometimes this is really helpful also if you have a very light colored specimen. You may want to turn that light down so it's a little bit darker. And the opposite is true. If you have a dark specimen on a slide, you may want a little bit more light coming through so it'll illuminate more structures. So that is the light source. The other one that you can also kind of manipulate, change, and play with a little bit is something called the condenser. So the condenser is actually going to move the light further and closer to the stage. So sometimes you can adjust that also. So there's 3 ways to adjust the light. And then if you've tried those and it just doesn't turn on, let me know. We probably need to change the batteries, and I will take care of that. To ensure that the scopes are put away properly and used properly, we do check those. So at any point in time you use a microscope, you will need to record the number. So all the ones with the red dots on the back are the binocular, and then the ones with the yellow dots, not this dot, but the one that has the number on it, the ones with the yellow dots are the monocular. So anytime, either OneNote or a hard copy, please record the number so that we can keep track of that. Okay, so let's go through the parts. So we already talked about the eyepiece. Let's just move our way down. The next big thing would be the stage. Now this is so important. Some of the older microscopes had clips here on the side, and you simply lifted the clip. These do not under any circumstances lift this arm, okay? It is a spring and you move it side to side, and don't lift any of this silver part that is part that holds the slide. Nothing goes underneath it. Instead, when you put the slide on, you're going to move this arm back. It's spring loaded, and you're going to put the slide on and just make sure it's in the corner right here, and then you're just going to let go and it's going to hold it in place. The other thing to help so you don't break the equipment is you are not moving the stage manually, side to side or backwards and forwards. Instead, on the side, and this is the same for both microscopes, there are 2 knobs. The one on the top is going to go back and front, or away or towards you, and the knob on the bottom is going to go side to side. And if you've never used a microscope before, it's actually backwards and reverse, the way you're looking at it. So that is the stage and how to properly put the slide. This could be a slide that you made. This could be a prepared slide. Focusing. So we've talked about the eyepiece. The other lens that this scope has would be on the revolving nose piece. Let me tip that. There we go. So the revolving nose piece. And like it says, it's going to turn and give you the different lenses. So the one that's closer, right above the specimen, that's the one, the power you're looking for. So these are the objective lenses. So you're looking at an object, and this is the eyepiece because you're using your eye to look for it, through it. When you do total magnification, you do need to know this. You are simply multiplying the powers of both lenses. So you need to look for the number, and I'm going to remove this because it can be removed, but you are not to remove this, okay? So this is a lens, and if you look closely, there's a number. That 10x right here, that 10x is the power. So that's 10. And on the objective lens, you kind of have to look around. There are different numbers. So the red, for example, okay, that has a 4 slash, and then this one says 0.10. The 4 is the power, okay? That's the number, the very first number. So the total magnification is you multiply the two lenses. So 4 times 10 is 40. I'm going to rotate clockwise. The next lens has a yellow band, and that is a 10x. Total magnification would be 10 times 10. That's 100 total magnification. And finally, the one we really want to try to get under, this is the closest. This is the blue lens, and this is 40. So when I multiply the two lenses, 40 times 10 is 400. Now, don't always assume that the eyepiece is going to be 10. Ours just happens to be. So always double check. I've seen some 15 and I've seen some 20. So always take a look before you do any calculation on your total magnification. Now, for focusing, I've got my slide on my stage, okay? What you want to do, there are 2 knobs on both sides. 2 knobs on both sides, okay? They both do the same thing. This is the correct way to look through the scope, facing this way, okay? Yes, this does swivel, but this is backwards, okay? So just learn doing it this way. And the reason why is because if you have a teacher or something, they can come around and they can look at it side to side. But for your purposes, you're going to face it just like this. So I do need my left hand to move my stage back and front, side to side. So with my right hand, I'm going to use these knobs, okay? I'm going to turn these knobs. Now, the knob that is the closest to the body of the scope, the one that's the closest, is the coarse adjustment. And that means it moves it a lot. It moves the stage a lot. The outside knob is the fine adjustment. It gets the details. So coarse is the bigger knob, moves the stage a lot. Fine moves it just a little bit, and it works on the details. Now, I've seen people break slides before, and here is how it happens. So they move this stage a lot up and down, but they put the magnification on a longer lens. So they'll have it on yellow and they have it on blue, and then they start moving this a lot, and it will pop that microscope slide in too. The only time you use the coarse adjustment is when you are on the red lens. The red lens only for the coarse adjustment. When I get that in focus and rotate to the yellow or the blue, I move out away and I use only the fine adjustment just for the details. Now, the way a microscope works, any given microscope, when I'm under the low magnification, which is 40x, I'm looking at an area like this, the field of view, okay? And then as I get on my longer lenses or the higher magnification, it goes down and I start looking at a really small area. So to get that and keep that in focus, every time before I move my lens, I'm going to make sure my specimen is dead center. There is a black pointer line coming in to each of, or into the eyepiece. That tip of that black point, that is so you can put the specimen, or if you need to show someone, you can put your object or whatever you're looking at the tip of that point. It's called a pointer. So I'm going to put on the low magnification, so the red lens, 40 total magnification, and then I'm going to move the stage. The stage, when you receive the scope, should be all the way down. That is the proper way to store it, and it should be on the low magnification and the light is turned off, okay? So I've just got my scope, I put my slide on. The easiest and fastest way to focus a microscope, which I've been doing for several years, is to bring the stage all the way up. So watch how much this moves, okay? And then a quarter turn down, okay? That most of the time will get it dead on. Now, before I ever look through my eyepieces, sometimes I can see the specimen on the slide, and I will look to the side and that light is coming through the bottom, and I will try to see that specimen as it's glowing or it might be stained. So I'll do that. At least I'll get it right above the light source, and it's not sitting over on the edge of the slide and I'm scanning that area because I'm only looking at a tiny little spot. So I'm going to get that all the way up, quarter turn down, and then I'm going to move my stage until I can see my specimen dead center. Then I'm going to rotate clockwise, make sure it locks in. You can actually hear it. Okay. Now I'm under my 100 magnification, the yellow lens. Now I'm not going to use that coarse adjustment. I'm going to move my hand out and I'm only going to fine adjust it. So I'm going to use my right hand like I mentioned before. Okay, turn that. So right hand, I'm going to turn my knob, and then I have my other hand on my stage. So the top knob is going to move it back and forth, and then the bottom one is going to move side to side. So then I can move my scope. When you get proficient at this, you can actually turn both at the same time, and then you can actually scan around a little bit faster. It takes a little bit of practice, but I will put my ring finger on that bottom knob, and then I can move both at the same time. Okay, but for right now, just work on back and forth and then side to side. And finally, if I can, I'm going to try to get under the highest magnification, which is 400 total magnification, and then I'll have my specimen. Now, if I was using a digital scope, the one that hooks up with a camera, okay, I would have a cord that plugs in here, a USB cord and a camera end port to it, and I would plug it into the USB of my computer. I would then launch the camera. So if I click on the Windows key on my keyboard, type in camera, it will pop up, and then I'd want to go still. There's a little backwards and forwards because it's then going to pick up two cameras, the one facing you, like in a webcam, and it will also pick up the camera that you plugged in. So you'll need to kind of toggle between that. Sometimes they're a little temperamental, so I might have to unplug the USB and plug it back in or relaunch my camera. Just be patient. It happens all the time, but that is the best software to use this camera. And the other thing is that now we have another magnification. We're not factoring that in the total magnification because then it's going through the eyepiece, the objective lens, and then the power that is in your camera. But that will affect on your focusing. So your final focus, I would use your screen on your computer because that's the picture you're going to take. So that covers the microscope. When we are ready to clean up, I'm going to reiterate this again. You are going to put the stage completely down. This objective lens needs to be on the shortest lens above. The reason why I want to tuck those longer lenses back toward the arm, so if something gets bumped, I'm not breaking off that lens. Stage down, low magnification, and the light is off. And then that's how we're going to store it. If you use a cable for the camera, you're going to unplug that, you're going to roll it up and put it in the bag so it's secure. So that covers the microscope. Make sure you understand the names and the parts, and you understand how to focus the microscope on your own. This is a skill you will need to know in future classes. Good luck.